If you were to ask me what my biggest fear is in life, I'd tell you it's failing. And this week, I was faced with it. Well, kind of. Let me backtrack. I'm on a journey to heal my inner artist by doing the artist way, and week 3 was a series of high highs and low lows. I had a pop-up for my brand in New York, so I flew over at the beginning of the week and did my reading on the plane, which means it's the 3rd week in a row that I've done that. I only got around to doing my morning pages 5 out of 7 days this week, which is not ideal, and I also did not make time for an artist day. And no, this isn't even the failure that I experienced this week. Like I previously said, I was in New York because I was doing a pop-up for my brand, which spanned over 2 days in collaboration with a sustainable bag company called Mela. I've done quite a few pop-ups and markets this year, and what I've learned is that they either do really well or really, really bad. I have yet to find a market that is somewhere in between, and unfortunately this pop-up was more on the not so successful side. I did still make a few sales, but overall I didn't have as many people coming as I thought, and I didn't have as many sales as I had hoped for, which felt super defeating because whenever you do something in person and it doesn't do well, it almost feels like everybody can tell that it didn't do well, which feels so embarrassing, and there's so much shame around it, which is exactly what this week of the Artist Way was talking about, how shame oftentimes blocks our creativity because we care so much about what people think or how we're perceived. And I know that I personally deal with that a lot, caring about how people view me, how I'm being perceived, if I'm looking like a failure, if I look like I'm successful. And at the end of the day, I would never want to lie about what my experience really is running a business. Like, I always try to be transparent that it's very up and down, but I'm not gonna lie, it does feel really shitty to actually say that things don't do well. But I think it's just part of life, it's part of running a business, it's part of the creative process. So while this week was kind of a flop business-wise, I did have the best week ever with my 2 best friends who are also creatives, who re-inspired me, re-motivated me, who wore my pieces so I could get content, and were so uplifting and so supportive during all of this. So I'm not gonna say this entire week was a failure or that it was a complete flop, because there's so much goodness and beauty in everything if you just take a moment to look a little more deeply. But I will say, I do hope by the end of this process, things start looking up a little bit more.